Good morning, my name's Chris and you're watching The Rural Project. If it's your first time watching this channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button and stay tuned because there'll be plenty more videos. What I'm going to be doing today, I'm back at the land and I'm going to be heading back down to the Gulley where I was working yesterday. We're doing some more dropping of trees. We'll be booking some logs to length and then getting the log splitter going and doing some splitting and stacking. So stay tuned, but before I do that I've got to get all the equipment down there. So I've got to get the log splitter down there, I've got to get the bench saw, I get the saws sharpened and the tools in the back of the tray. It's warming right up now, so this is going to be an absolutely beautiful day. It's pretty fresh. It was pretty fresh and crisp this morning. Not icy, but just cool. But the sun's out now. A little bit of a breeze, which will help to keep it cool. So let's get this car moved out of the way. Let's get the excavator fired up. These logs lifted up to length, and then we'll get these split, and then we'll get back down the hill and take another tree down and repeat the whole process. So we're going to get the 462 into this first log today. As you've seen there, self-splitting, like I said. It's very rotten in the middle. This section's rotten and hollow. The outside, nice and solid. So yeah, saves a bit of splitting, that does. I'm just using a 362 with my mark bar on. Just go and mark all the positions, and then we get the 462 back into it. already feel that this chain's starting to go dull after just a few cuts, and that was sharp and fresh this morning. What I found earlier, I didn't catch it on camera, but some of these stones that are part of the crushed rock floor now that we put down, as these logs have been dropped onto this and then picked up this morning, a few stones are actually sticking to the timber, obviously just being compressed into it. I'm thinking I've gone and touched a few of those as I've been cutting through them. Might have been on the underside of the log. I did spot a couple of logs earlier with the odd stone stuck in them, so I think that's what's happened there. That's why this is starting to cut quite a bit slower. So I'm just going to give this a quick sharpen again, just a couple of strokes on each tooth, and we'll get the rest of this cut and then get into the splitting. Yes, as you can see, this wood is extremely wet. It's wetter than it would be if it was green. This is the timber from the log that was laid on the floor, and has been laid on the floor for quite a few years. So yeah, you definitely get through the surface, which is pretty dry. By the time you get into the middle, I mean, it's solid wood, but it is just soaked. It's solid with a few tracts there from bugs and termites that have got in. But the actual wood itself, it's a solid piece, just soaking wet and very heavy. That's going to take a long time to dry. I don't normally have wood as wet as that. So my wood usually pretty dry, and it's by the time it's had a summer in the sun, it's dried out. I would imagine this will take longer, but we'll see. This wood store is very, very good for drying wood out. A lot of airflow through it. It sits in the sun most of the day. As you can see, the sun's over there and it's shining straight in here. So yeah, it's a very good wood store. But I'll keep working my way through the rest of this stuff and then do a little bit of stacking. I'll bring you back once I get into the stacking. Okay, so I've had enough of stacking, had enough of splitting. So we got all of that stacked. As you can see, it's not far off the top, but there is still a bit to go. I've got all of this wood still to split. But yeah, I had enough of that today. I'm going to go do some fun stuff down the hill. So we'll get the excavator, drive our way down there, and So let's go play with the trees. Okay, so that is the one that's coming down today. Big ghost tree. All the white bark. I think it's a peppermint gum. I've got a lot of peppermint gums around here, and I think that's one as well. Obviously difficult with no leaves or anything on it, but that's what I'm thinking it is, looking at what's left of the bark at the bottom. Right, let's go get the chainsaw and see if we can get this thing safely on the ground. Oh, this is the one coming down. I'm nervous, excited, nervous. It's a big tree now. It's got a bit of a compound leaning, but it wants to head that way, but also that way. So somewhere in there is where its lean is. To counteract that, but it's slap bang in the middle of the image there. That's a big branch sticking total opposite direction. But I think there's enough, well, there's enough weight on the other side and the lean there to actually push it in this direction. I'm not sure if this camera gives an idea of the scale or not, but I'll go around the other side and try and put my hands around it, see where I get to. As you can see, that's a big tree. Right, I've worked out the plan of I've worked out the plan of attack. I'm going to go exactly as I said originally. Get a scarf on this side and try and get it sort of 45 degrees off to a side, instead of laying it straight into the hills, 45 degrees off to the left into a clearing. We'll see how I do. It's going to be interesting, but let's give it a go. Okay, so I've got the cut in. I really don't want to cut much deeper than that, so I'm going to put a couple of wedges in. I think if there is a safer side, this is definitely it, from trees falling from above. Can hear the cracking. You're going straight down. A bit more over that way. She's creaking. Put all of the wedges on the right hand side just to try and pull it more that way, but feels like it's going to go sort of straight down, which is a shame, but it's kind of committed now. Wow! Oh yes! Wow! Did you hear that? Holy cow! I was really interested, and as them branches hit the ground, there's a fox 20 metres away, hidden in the brush, bolted. Obviously he'd seen me or heard me and decided to sort of sit down and hide. Did you hear that? How cool was that? That was most probably one of the loudest tree crashings I've had. And I've taken some big trees down, but that one was very dry, very brittle. Boy, did it crunch as it landed. Well, I hope all these videos are good. Right, I'm gonna get a quick drink, calm the nerves down a bit, and then yeah, I'll start to get the chainsaw out and we'll get some of this booked up. See, practice makes perfect. So I don't know if you noticed what I did that time was, once I'd done my scarf, I couple of times I've done the back cut and I've done it uneven. So this time from the edge of the scarf I did a vertical mark and then a horizontal mark just to give me the heights so that I didn't have to come right round here to see where it was. Same thing on here, came back from there, put a vertical mark and a horizontal mark, and then I put my back cut in to match. As you can see, nice and parallel. That's a big hinge on that, but there was a fair amount of lean, so I was happy with that. And then if you look, the hinge is that line, so if I square you up, so you can see where it landed and then it rolled off to the side. Perfect. Now, I know I certainly ain't going to be the fastest in the book with all the marking out I have to do and things like that, but it's all about safety for me. Getting the tree safely on the ground. There's no speed involved. I don't need to do it quickly. Man, I enjoyed that. Wow. One big tree. Holy cow. Even some of the branches are big size. So unfortunately it did take half of that tree out, which is on the floor there. But it's pretty much 45 degrees. I guess it came down here and then rolled over. But much better it was. I thought it was heading over there to start with, that's why I moved the wedges around. So I'm really pleased with that. Man, that was sick. That was awesome. That was seriously loud. I don't know what it's like on camera, hopefully it picked it all up. But that was pretty cool. We got a lot of firewood here. Firewood for sale. Okay, so what I am planning on doing now, I've got the excavator down here with me, and what I'm thinking is I am going to cut this tree from the butt end there. It's a big tree that the excavator is going to struggle to lift, so I'm going to make a cut here, one cut, another cut here, and get a chain wrapped around the top section, with a view or an idea that if I can cut it into 3 pieces, this top piece I'm going to be able to drag back down using the chain. I'm not too sure, there's still a lot of wood up there. It's a seriously heavy limb and big branches on it. Well, let's get it cut up and then we'll give it a try, see if my plan comes together. Inside of this log, so you can see the inside section there is it's starting to go a bit punky here, a bit punky in this area, like that's, you know, a couple more years that would start to rot, but this outer edge here is still absolutely solid, which is like what I found with a lot of the trees. Right, I'm going to smack into this now with a chainsaw. I'm getting conscious of time. Sort of conscious of time, so I'm going to knock a few of these over pretty quickly. Try and get these big ones lifted back up onto the turning circle there at the bottom of Slippery Hill. and all these smaller branches booked up and dropped into the pile down there. That's the plan. Let me get on with it. Making pretty good progress limbing this up now. Booking it to lengths. I've been using the 362. Ran out of fuel on the 462, so I've refueled them both and yeah, knocking into it now with the 362. It's a bit lighter. Certainly doesn't have the power, but it's getting through this timber pretty good. This stuff just perfect. Bigger than a hand. That's 12 inches across maybe. Perfectly dry. We just chop 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 all the way down. It's perfect. Just as that piece fell, it caught the chain because I couldn't manage to get the bar out of the way quick enough. And this stuff's certainly too big for the 362. I'll be here all day. But what I might do is I might see if I can move some of this now with the excavator. I've took a lot of wood off it. We'll see if we can get these things moved out of the way. Right, I am now going to call it a day for today. Pretty tired. I'm filthy as well, like normal. I'm covered in sawdust. Listen, thank you for watching. Really appreciate watching. Appreciate the comments in the comment section below. And stay tuned, because next time I come back, we'll be doing more splitting. We'll be doing more booking, and we'll be doing more stacking. Because I'm going to work my way down this gully all the way to the dam over the coming weeks. Right, stay tuned for more on the Rural Project.